Page 527. And you, many amongst you, who enter into purposeful marital bonds, you do not even know the true bond love, but only a purposeful love, which is based in winning financial riches, or idol-like estimation. So without true love, you enter in doubtfulness into a marital bond, and according to whim and pathological need, you break it again, through which neither a permanence nor true love can come about. Just as you only have an apparent love to the truth, so you only feel an apparent love to your life whose high value you disregard, and which you constantly drive to the edge of the death through all sorts of extreme and irresponsible forms of the activity and deeds. All around, the love is, for very many of you, those who only cultivate it as illusion, lies, and deception, only directed towards profit, riches, estimation, self-presentation, advantages, harm, spitefulness, hostility, and maliciousness, which is why you feign love in characterlessness, whereas there is truthfully only hatred, greed, schadenfreude, pathological craving for revenge, and urge for retaliation, as well as rapacity, pathological craving for profit, and exploitation in you. Just as you have made your invented gods, tin gods, and idolized human beings to religions, ideologies, and philosophies and to a belief, so you have done the same with the love, because for you it is nothing more than a belief and a religion which, just like the supposed love, you also bend and maltreat for your own purpose, depending on your requirements and attitude. Truly, you have completely wrongly understood the love, and have, through a wide variety of falsifications and distortions, made it into a term of belief and religion, although you know not at all what real love is, because you make it dependent on material things, and you exchange it on a whim, like dirty shirts. What you call love is everything but love, because true love is the deepest spiritual, fine, sensitive, feeling-based connectedness. And love is the absolute certainty for oneself, living together and coexisting with everything in everything. Thus in all that exists, in fauna and flora, in the fellow human being, in every material and spiritual life form, irrespective of its kind, and in the existence of the entire universe, and much more, or laws and recommendations. But you amongst you human beings of earth, who have the love as belief and religion, if one goes to the true bottom of your so-called real love, then nothing remains in the end but desires, comfort, imagination, vanity, longing for riches and estimation, avarice, as well as sexual drives, etc. Truthful love is not only thought and feeling conditioned, but raised through spiritual, fine sensitive feelings out of the gemüt of the spirit realm. And this form of the true love is not simply directed towards what you like, what is pleasant for you, and what brings you joy and a comfortable feeling, but rather it directs itself only according to what joins together with deepest connectedness and certainty of the coexistence in harmony. True love is also true joy and all-embracing happiness in togetherness, in the thoughts, feelings, and in the psyche, in which every servility, submissiveness, and hypocrisy is excluded. If it is said, through the true prophets, quote, "Love your enemies," then this means that you shall cultivate a deep connectedness and certainty of the coexistence, and indeed, irrespective of whether your real or apparent enemy openly perceives this or not. Beware of disciplining your real or apparent enemies in order to move them to the cognition, but instead let them know that you are not hostile-minded to them, and that as human beings you feel deeply connected with them, and that you bear neither hatred nor revenge thoughts against them. This alone is love, and the cultivation of the fairness to the next one and fellow human being. Because consider that true love cannot be separated from fairness, because both belong together, each as its own oneness, and together they again build a oneness. Fairness and the being fair in love require, however, that you do not show inappropriate indulgence to a hostile-minded one, so that his or her misbehavior is not increased, and that he or she does not go further down the slanting track. Because truly it is your duty to point out the misbehavior in love, intellect, and rationality, as well as in a peaceful wise, in order to not, contrary to the love, bring guilt and hatred upon yourselves. The love of many of you human beings of earth, those who have made it into the belief and into the religion, ideology, or philosophy, you also form it through your unspoken wishes into unworthiness and inertness, and in doing so you deny and defame it in its truthliness. And indeed in the same wise as you do this with the true truth-bringers, the prophets, the proclaimers, and defame them by accusing them of being weak and indulgent, because they do not preach hatred, war, terror, revenge, and retaliation, but teach you of the true love, harmony, and freedom, and real peace. The sadness which often befalls the true prophets has nothing to do with weakness and indulgence, and is an implicitness for the proclaimers with regard to their high mission and the humankind they are confronted with which they must come to terms against all defamatory and life-threatening attacks of the antagonists who have fallen prey to hatred. But you, those you who do not search for the belief of love, nor for the religion of love, but for the true love, out of spiritual, fine sensitive feelings, you must liberate yourselves from all dogmatic restrictions, and in strict consequence, and without any illogical indulgence and weakness, turn to the creational laws and recommendations and follow them. Because it is alone by fulfilling them that you are able to find and build up the true love in you. Be always conscious that true love is no coercion, but must be created and become reality from out of your own free will. Your free will is something special, but in order to be able to explain it, a number of external things must be considered which more or less have an influence on it. In addition, the free will is something about which there is contention even among academics. Your free will absolutely includes your free decision and determination possibility, which is built up upon the responsibility of the laws with regard to fairness. Even if you ask where the free will is in your case, because you believe in godly or tin-godly guidance, predetermination, providence, and in the influence of the stars, in godly or tin-godly punishment, or in a karma, and believe that you, whether you want it or not, are guided or pushed through the life through the powers of a god, tin god, or a human being raised to a godly idol, this free will is nevertheless given to you, even if you do not want to understand this. You fall seriously upon everything with fervor which talks about the free will, recognizing rightly that it is precisely here that an explanation is required, because the whole of your free will is not understood through the religious, ideological, and philosophical belief, and is also denied through the irrational assumptions and irrational teachings of the neo-neurology. But as long as you do not have the truth of the explanation with regard to your free will, you are not able to properly adjust to following the creational laws and recommendations, and to assert yourselves in the whole, all-embracing creation as that which you really are, namely, human beings with a free will. If you, however, do not find the right attitude in the realm of the whole all-embracing creation and to the creation, i.e. the universal consciousness itself, then you remain far from everything existent that it has created and errantly wander about therein without finding the true direction of the life. This is a state in which you find no destination consciousness because you do not unfold your free will, and as a result, let yourselves be pushed, formed, directed, planed, and errantly wander about through the life, through your fellow human beings. Your great deficiency with regard to your own free will is that you do not know, and do not even have the faintest idea where in you it is actually located and how it works. This fact alone shows that you have interrupted the connection to your free will, and that you have most widely lost it, and therefore you no longer know where and how you can find it. Truly, you have closed the gate to the cognition and to the understanding of your free will through your purely materialistic good of thoughts and good of feelings. So you undecidedly turn around in a circle and continuously wear yourselves out when you search for the truth and for your free will. Only when you change your thoughts and feelings, and you uprightly strive after the effective truth and also want to find it through your free will fresh energy and power come about in you in order to open your closedness. But be certain that even if you scour away your closedness with great power, the way to the truth will still be long, and you will have to continue searching steadily. You must learn to find the way of the truth in yourselves, which is the truth and the culmination point itself. And so you must learn to go the way and to tread it with a steady and unswerving step. Otherwise it can happen that you indeed see the way, but stagger and stumble along it, and keep falling again and again, because you are slightly impaired and make missteps, and as a result you can neither find the real truth nor your free will. You many amongst you who are simple, hard-working, and normal common earth humans, without any academic titles, ranks, and names, and believers with regard to a godhead, a tin god, angel, saint, or idolized human being, but also you amongst you who do have high titles, ranks, and names, for example, as scientists or neurologists, etc., you show uncomprehension towards the real presence, i.e. the true existence of your free will, in a hard-headed wise, and this in total non-understanding of what the free will really is. Truly, the simple explanation for free will is already given in the expression itself, but because you are complicated in your rationality and in your intellect, you also see the explanation in complicatedness. And the reason for this is that you are not able to perceive the really simple precisely because it is so simple, and therefore you look for the free will, of which you cannot make neither a picture nor an idea, in the wrong place. You human beings of Earth, who make yourselves thoughts and feelings about your free will, you live in imaginations, which are in any case always wrong, because imaginations correspond always to illusions, and illusions are nothing but wish pictures, imaginations, castles in the air, worthless things, and self-deception, and they have nothing to do with the truth and reality. The only things that can be right are effective reference points, terms, pictures, and ideas which correspond to the reality, but never to imaginations.